Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. Thank you very much for this wonderful personal privilege and honor to be before you. And I want to say thank you to Mahmoud Ahmad for this kind and generous introduction. And I say hello to all of you, and thank you for having me here today. I congratulate all of you on the 67th Jalsa Salana, the oldest and longest running Muslim convention in America. The theme of this year's convention, religion, freedom and peace, is one that resonates with me. In today's volatile world in which we hear daily reports of extremism and violence, embracing those three areas, religion, freedom and peace, is more important than ever before. We must promote education and awareness of the true practices of Ahmadi Muslims to deter association with extreme factions that are responsible for the acts of violence and terror. We must promote your values. We must promote your theme. We must promote that which drives you every day. And also the theme of love for all, hatred for none. I personally know that you are no stranger to religious persecution in your community. Here in this country, we celebrate our freedoms, the freedom of religion, the freedom of assembly, the freedom of speech, and much more. We cherish these words and work them to make them tangible for our community and for our children. They must not just be words we rattle off by rote. They must guide how we as a society treat one another and how we behave as a nation. When I see people coming together and worshiping, no matter what faith it represents, all of you represent peace and understanding. But we must continue our work to ensure that all people are accepted without the veil of ignorance, and that sometimes can engulf Islam. No person should be retaliated against or mistreated because of their faith or how they choose to worship. Which is why this Jalsa Salana is so important, to highlight the beautiful practices and maxims of Islam, and remember that we must work to bring those values of peace and understanding across the world. I am honored to be here and accept this award in the true spirit of Islam, in the spirit of peace. As was mentioned, I met His Holiness, Mirza Masroor Ahmad, and he has said, to achieve peace, we must embrace the ideas of loyalty and love for one's nation. We must embrace just relations between nations, and he said that we must embrace global unity. When I first met him, I was in his presence at the mosque, the Masjid Rahman in Silver Springs, Maryland. It was a long drive for me, but the drive was so much worth it, because being in his presence, then seeing the MKAs, the young people there, it lifted me, it lifted my spirit, because it told me that there's hope, there's love, and there is aspiration for peace and love in this country when I visited the mosque there that day. And then the second time I met him, on the Hill in Congress, it was wonderful to see his presence, His Holiness there, with the leadership of the Ahmadiyya in Congress, sharing their presence, sharing their understanding with other members of Congress. And this, my friends, will be the way that we will teach this country that which you already know, that which you already practice, that which you are teaching your children to pass on to the next generation. You are a shining example of what a responsible and peaceful group of people should embody, and I applaud that fact that as Muslims for life, you acknowledge the tragedies of 9/11 and hold blood drives every year. And I understand I hear over and over again, but to this date, you have collected enough blood to save 100,000 lives, and that is truly commendable. And I see folks giving their blood today, and those who do not like Muslims will never know that it's your blood that's in their body. Isn't that right? So sooner or later, every person who receives blood will end up being Ahmadians. So, as you continue to promote acceptance and cross-cultural understanding through your concept of Muslims of loyalty and exhibiting your loyalty to America, we will finally be able to combat extremist ideology of ISIS and Al-Qaeda. It is rare that groups come together so peacefully and cohesively and effectively. Your Stop the Crisis movement, and I think that's very creative. Crisis, there's ISIS in there, so you're stopping the crisis. It's a perfect example of what the exemplary leadership is all about. And I met your leadership. I met your leadership among the MKAs, the young men between 7 and 39, wearing black and white scarves. And I wore my black and white tie today in their respect, because I take my hat off to them, because they are the future of this country. They are the future of your message. They are the future of the Ahmadiyya message. And that is love for all and hate for none. And they do this on a very volunteer basis. They do it because they have been good students of your families. And I am here also as a student. I've been a student all day today, and I have learned so much from you, from the young people, from the MKA, for the young person that was 13 asked me a question. Is Honda are you really part of the Honda family? I said, no. If I belong to that family tree, I'm a broken branch that floated across the ocean. But it showed me that there's curiosity and the willingness to ask the questions. And then I met with your leadership also. And then I met and I ran across the Humanity First, the project that's being moved by Ahmadiyya, and the concern that shows through your projects of the need for water around the world, the need for food, the need for good health. And you take your tools and your own talents and your preparation and you share that with the rest of the world, where those needs are being met through your love and through your commitment to fulfill the precepts and the concepts and the teachings of Islam. I met with your sisters, the Lujnan, your sister Lujnan. I'm going to learn this. And they were very organized, and they asked very pointed questions, and I learned from them. And they taught me the cultural difference and the religious difference. And they also taught me that there are not only women, they're not only mothers and sisters, but they are also professionals working in our community in different areas to take the teachings into the greater society, and through their behavior on an everyday basis, teach people who they are and what Ahmadiyya is all about. This is part of our calling, is to take our religion, take our teachings, and share them on a daily basis to show that you can become a good reflection of that which you believe. And thank you for allowing me to be a student of yours. Thank you for teaching me today. Things that would have taken me 4 years in college, I learned in one day, through all of you being here today. And so to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, I will always be a partner. You will always have me as your partner. And I'm very honored to accept the 2015 Ahmadiyya Muslim Humanitarian Award. Together, I know we can continue to promote peace and understanding in this world, in this country, and among our own citizens. And we shall stand united with under the spirit of your slogan, again, love for all, hatred for none. Thank you, and peace be unto you.